A state Senate subcommittee recently passed a resolution to create a gaming working group to examine the potential for gaming activities at the new Aloha Stadium Entertainment District. This comes as nearly 70% of residents polled support the new Aloha Stadium project. Join us now to talk story about that and other issues in our islands is Governor Josh Green. Aloha and good morning, Governor.
Aloha.
Thanks for stopping by with us.
Yeah.
So what do you feel about gaming potentially at the new Aloha Stadium Entertainment District?
Well, it's not quite ready for prime time. As you see, the legislature is being cautious, and that's smart. But it was interesting to see. We got a survey, a poll of people, and about 2 out of 3 in our state wanted to do gaming as long as the monies went to an important set of projects, mostly housing. So a lot of people want housing. Interestingly, the Hawaiian community, an overwhelming big number, wanted this gambling option as long as it went towards housing for Hawaiians. So it may find its time, and that would certainly unlock the key to building a bigger and more beautiful stadium and entertainment district. A
big deadline coming up in June for the new Aloha Stadium. Any updates?
Yeah, so the contracts will get done. I'm going to encourage them to go forward no matter what. We have the $400 million. We need to demolish the old stadium. I think you build the stadium, and we've actually made overtures to several different affluent entities to invest in $50 million dollar increments or bigger. We really would like to have $800 million to build a modern stadium as a part of this district, and that's why people are talking about gambling, which I'm neutral on right now, but also these other options. You could see the renderings. They're really beautiful, and it will generate revenue for our state.
Yeah, the renderings are absolutely gorgeous. Switching gears, we've seen a bit of lawlessness when it comes to stuff like illegal game rooms, even e-bikes, right? I was driving down Lunalilo Home Road, saw a couple kids doing wheelies. You see this stuff like that all the time. Illegal fireworks. These are obviously very nuanced, complicated issues, but what do you think we can do to tackle these issues?
Mostly fines. Fines are a quick way to discourage people from doing this. We're not going to put people in jail for doing wheelies. However, when people have these accidents, they have head trauma, they end up with lifelong disabilities. So Representative, let's see, from the west side, I'm trying to remember who put these bills in, really smart, putting helmets on people, making sure that kids under 18 get helmets. You have to do these things, otherwise people will not be discouraged. So I think it's very, very, very important to pass that, to pass the fines for large fireworks that are absolutely dangerous, and we saw that on, on New Year's Eve. It was just so tragic. So a quick
a lot of austerity that includes potential cuts to the Department of Education, at least federally. How do you think that can impact Hawaii here, dollars-wise? And you recently had a meeting with the administration.
Yeah, well, overall, it's $3.7 billion of federal monies that come to Hawaii at least. And then we have a lot of grants also that are even probably more important. So I did meet with Secretary McMahon of Education. I expressed our need to have those dollars come directly to our schools if they're going to dissolve any of their programs like the Department of Education, which is probably not a great idea. I mean, I think that the DOE does a lot of good things. Maybe some bureaucracy can go away. That alone's 11% of our budget, and those dollars go to kids with special needs. And so I can't imagine that we would walk away from kids with special needs as a country. So I'll be fighting to keep those dollars in, whether they are state replacement dollars or just kind of the blow-for-blow battle in D.C., which our congressional delegation does a great job on to keep those monies intact. There's so much need right now in society that I'm pretty disappointed that DOGE is making these deep cuts with basically an axe or a chainsaw like they've expressed, rather than with a scalpel. But I meet with a lot of the people in the administration to try to calm them down to get us through this period. It's going to be rough.
Speaking of DOGE cuts, we've seen cuts to Hawaiian Volcano Observatory as Kilauea continues to erupt, as well as a NOAA facility over on the Big Island. Your level of concern there?
Pretty significant. You know, the volcano went off again this last weekend, and it was spewing lava up 600 feet. If we ever had a big flow down, especially the west side, it only takes a couple hours to get down to the community. So we do have contingency plans being worked out so that they can monitor from a distance. We have enough resources at the university level and the volcano level to kind of keep the monitors there. But sooner or later, these cuts are going to cause harm. I mean, you all know how strongly I feel about cutting the Department of Health 20% or 20% of the positions for HHS. That is a terrible idea in an era where there's more spread of virus infection and so on. But you could see a disaster like that really hurt us And God forbid, you had a volcanic eruption and didn't have enough warning. So again, this is the place where the legislature and I will come up with a kind of a secure pot of money and wait for some of the decisions that ultimately come out of DC so we can fill what's most necessary to keep us healthy and safe.
The city has been increasing their homeless sweeps recently within the past month. Have you seen more folks wanting resources from Kauhale, et cetera, that the state does offer?
I do. Look, I'm never going to criticize the county government because they do so much great work with us in partnership. And so though perhaps there have been sweeps, there also have been many, many more beds created in partnership with the mayor. And so we're at 95% full all the time in our Kauhales. We have 19 Kauhales built now. You saw, I think, in the newspaper today, there was the celebration of good results over at the Evilay Behavioral Health Center, where people can go for 24 hours of respite if they have schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and so on. So a sweep traditionally before was just moving people, and it was not useful at all. Now, a quote sweep will be sweeping people into Kauhale, into a behavioral health center, into the medical respite that the mayor's established with Dr. Miskovich, which is super effective. All of that keeps people out of the hospital and decreases costs. Hospital costs over $5 grand a day now, minimum. Working at one of these Kauhales or health centers, it's like $100. I mean, it's incredibly less expensive, and people get a lot of attention.
We were talking before, a little sore today, Gov. You've been working out a lot. Congratulations on the weight loss, but also you made some chili. Can you tell us about that?
Well, if you get as chubby as I did, you can lose weight, if you exercise a lot and eat well. So I'm eating a lot of protein. But yeah, we're selling chili today for the food bank. This is our annual fundraiser. So Jamie and I and the team, we made like about 25 gallons of chili, probably about 400 portions, which we are going to sell from 11:30 till 1. All proceeds, every last penny, is going to go to the food bank. And we hope to raise over $5 grand. We're also selling, like, Jamie made a bunch of lilikoi mochi, and it's good. So come over to the Capitol. I will serve you personally a chili lunch, and it goes to a good cause. So this is a time where, as things are a little rough in the government and in DC, and everyone's nervous about these things, we have to lean in a little bit more with our own generosity. So that's how we're doing it. You've heard me talk about me giving the potential pay raise to charity, which I'm going to do, just to make sure that people see that we all care about each other. And I would welcome other people to do the same, a little more charity these next 2 years as we get through this rough time.
It can go a long way, especially with some lilikoi mochi, Gov.
Jamie's lilikoi mochi is awesome. It's awesome.
All right, Governor, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Aloha.